Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Mind Map. Today's topic of discussion is Role of the Indian Diaspora in the Freedom Struggle. First, we will discuss the profound role played by the Indian Diaspora in our nation's struggle for freedom. Then we will explore the activities of Indian nationalists abroad. Moving forward, we will shed light on major organizations and movements. As we progress, we will closely examine the tangible contributions made by the diaspora to the independence movement. In conclusion, we will reflect on the enduring legacy of the Indian diaspora in our freedom struggle. Without further ado, let's begin today's session. The Indian diaspora refers to Indians settled abroad, including those who emigrated for economic or political reasons. The term diaspora traces its roots to the Greek diaspero, which means dispersion. The first batch of Indians were taken to countries in the Eastern Pacific and the Caribbean islands under the Girmitia arrangement as indentured laborers. The freedom struggle was fought in India and from overseas. The Indian diaspora's role in India's freedom struggle is a testament to their enduring connection with their motherland, despite geographical distances. The migration of Indians for work, education, and political asylum during the British rule, leading to the formation of Indian communities in countries like UK, USA, Canada, and others. Indian emigrants in various parts of the world, particularly in Europe, North America, and other British colonies, became instrumental in advocating for India's independence. Now let us discuss activities of Indian nationalists abroad. Indian nationals abroad published newspapers, pamphlets, and books to expose the exploitative nature of British colonialism in India. For instance, Lala Hardayal in the USA published revolutionary literature to rally support. Political engagement, actively participating in political discourse, forming groups, and attending international conferences to raise issues concerning India's colonial status. Cultural efforts, establishing associations and organizations to preserve Indian culture, language, and traditions, thereby fostering a strong sense of national identity. Intellectual advocacy, many members of the diaspora were intellectuals, writers, and speakers who used their positions to articulate the case for India's independence. Financial support, organizing fundraising events and campaigns to send financial aid back to India to support the freedom struggle. Networking, establishing connections with other anti-colonial movements and influential international figures to gain support for India's independence. Spreading awareness about India's struggle for independence internationally. Now let us look into the major organizations and movements. First, Ghadar Party, USA and Canada, formed in 1913, played a crucial role in attempting to incite armed rebellion in India against the British, published the Ghadar newspaper to disseminate revolutionary ideas. Second, India House, London, established by Shyamji Krishna Verma, served as a hub for Indian student activism and a meeting point for revolutionaries in the early 20th century. Third, Indian National Army overseas, led by Subhash Chandra Bose, galvanized the Indian diaspora, especially in Southeast Asia, to form an army to fight the British. Fourth, 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 incident, a significant event highlighting the struggle of Indian immigrants and the support they garnered from the freedom movement. Fifth, Berlin Committee, formed in Germany during World War I, aimed to garner German support for Indian independence. Sixth, Tarak Nath Das Foundation, USA, provided financial support for revolutionary activities in India. Now let us discuss the contribution to the independence movement. First, raising global awareness, played a vital role in informing and influencing international opinion about the plight of India under British rule. Second, lobbying efforts. Some members of the diaspora lobbied foreign governments to support India's quest for independence. Third, revolutionary activities, orchestrated plans for armed resistance in India, smuggled arms and ammunition, and attempted to create internal disturbances to challenge British rule. Fourth, propaganda and publications, used print media to spread anti-colonial sentiments and inspire nationalist feelings among Indians, both abroad and back home. Fifth, linking with other movements, formed alliances with other anti-imperialist groups globally, sharing ideas, resources, and strategies. Sixth, intellectual contributions. The diaspora contributed significantly to the intellectual framing of India's struggle, with figures like Rabindranath Tagore and Jawaharlal Nehru influencing international opinion. Now let us have a look at conclusion. Reaffirmation. The Indian diaspora played a multifaceted and pivotal role in India's struggle for independence. Impact assessment. Their efforts not only contributed to the nationalist movement within India but also elevated the struggle to a global platform. Legacy. The diaspora's involvement in the independence movement has left an enduring legacy influencing the formation of post-independence India's foreign policy and diaspora relations. Recognition. While their contribution was crucial, it often remains an underappreciated aspect of the history of India's independence movement. Summary of role. The Indian diaspora's contribution was multifaceted, encompassing intellectual, financial, and political dimensions. Lasting impact. The efforts of the diaspora were instrumental in gaining international support for India's independence and shaping the global narrative against colonialism. Now it's time for the practice question. For prelims, the question is, which organization was founded by Lala Hardayal in the United States in 1913 aimed at securing India's independence from British rule? The Indian National Congress, the Ghadar Party, the East India Association, or the Indian Independence League? For mains, the question is, evaluate the role of the Indian diaspora in the Indian freedom struggle. That's all for today's session. Stay tuned for the next episode. Thanks for watching.